Good morning, students. Today, in lecture 13 of paper number 10, we are going to study unit 2nd, Sir Philip Sidney. We have already studied in the previous lectures unit 1, which dealt with Aristotle's views on treasury, and today we will discuss in brief Sir Philip Sidney and his literary work, and after that we will study Sir Philip Sidney's views on classicism. Sir Philip Sidney's views on classicism, that is the one section prescribed for our study. So, my dear friends, when we go in detail about the Sir Philip Sidney, his literary career and so on, we will come to know Sir Philip Sidney is a well known Renaissance poet. Renaissance poet, which we call it as a Renaissance, or we call it the Elizabethan poet. Elizabethan poet means who started his writing at the time of Queen Elizabeth, and that age is also known as a Renaissance age. Renaissance means we have studied earlier, that is rebirth, means everything new going to happen in that period by keeping aside all the traditional norms, customs and everything. So, Queen Elizabeth is known as a Renaissance queen who have given birth, new birth and new invention during her period. So, Sir Philip Sidney is known as a Renaissance and Elizabethan poet. He is also known as a scholar, also a soldier, a writer, courtier and a philosopher. Because beside all the identity as a poet, scholar, soldier, writer, courtier and philosopher, Sir Philip Sidney is a well known human being also. Born in 30th November 1554, Sir Philip Sidney is an ideal example of humanity, because when he was seriously injured in the battle, at that time he was more thirsty. So, his companions offered him the water. At that time he offers the same water to the enemy, opposite soldier, and says, my need of water, means his need of water is more than me. Means it seems that who is an ideal example of humanity, sacrification and so on. He belongs to the UK, a well known scholar known to the public better by his profession and by his literary work also. He has written such a ideal work like like the apology for poetry, which we are going to study in detail in his views on classicism. He has written well-known texts like Apology for Poetry, published in 1583 after his death. Astrophil and Stella. Astrophil and Stella is a well-known sonnet written in 1591. After that, we have his well-known work, the Arcadia. Which is published in 1598. Means, in short, the literary work of Sir Philip Sidney is of high importance, of high merit and of high worth, which simply highlights his idea of superior writing through apology for poetry. My dear students, Apology for Poetry I will explain you in detail after the two work. Astrophil and Stella is a well-known sonnet, which is also known as the first English sonnet, which published in 1591, which gave Sir Philip Sidney a very identity and made them or make him the popular. The Arcadia is also known as a pastoral romance, is also known as pastoral romance or love story or chivalrous, means comic love story, which highlights the Elizabethan pastoral sense. Means the comedy of the pure people who are pastoral, who lives in the midst of the forest, live the very poor, ideal, natural life. So, after these two, apology for poetry, when we think about apology for poetry, which is also known as the defense of poesy. Defense of poesy means, in short, defense of poetry or the charges which were raised by the well-known scholar like Stephen Gosson. It is an answer. So, apology for poetry, known as defense of poesy, is an answer. Is an answer to the Stephen Gosson's book entitled School of Abuse. In the book entitled School of Abuse, Stephen Gosson, the playwright known as a dramatist, highly condemns the writing of poetry, highly condemns poetry, its art, its structure and so on. So, and he, after the writing, dedicates the same book to Sir Philip Sidney. Sir Philip Sidney, being a well-known philosopher, writer, courtier, poet, writer simply accept the book, go through it and also go through the charges which Stephen Goshen raises against the we can simply say against the poetry. Which were the charges? That we will see one by one along with the reply or answer to the Sir Philip Sidney. My dear students, Sir Philip Sidney through the book Apology for Poetry or Defense of Poesy not only reply answers to the Stephen Goshen's charges, but also highly philosophize, highly writes the ideal classical norms of writing. And according to Sir Philip Sidney, which is the ideal writing, that he want to know the writers of the Elizabethan age. He want to make the writing of the Elizabethan age or the known Renaissance age to be classical, and he want to know the dramatists, writers, poets of his time to follow the classical norms like the ancient Greek, Roman, Italian writers. So, Apology for Poetry is much more than the charges. It is much more philosophical than one could expect, and it's much more useful and also applicable for the classical norms. So, Sir Philip Sidney's Apology for Poetry is an ideal, well-known book which simply dismisses the charges raised by Stephen Goshen through the book A Defense of Poesy or Apology for Poetry. Dear students, the book is Apology for Poetry, which also highlights not only these charges, but also the classical means Sir Philip Sidney's views on classicism. What is mean by classicism? What is classical writing? That he want to make the people of Elizabethan age. Stephen Goshen's attack on poetry through his book The School of Abuse. In it, he raises the 4 charges, and according to him, the 4 charges which Stephen Goshen mentions are for him right. But when these go through very well by Sir Philip Sidney, he simply answers. But before the answer or reply, we just go through the charges. He says, a man could employ, EMPL, employ, a man could employ more time than in poetry. A man could employ more time more useful time to the poetry. Means man don't have to give much time to the poetry. Means man gives more time in poetry, understanding, reading, writing, or understanding its wit. That he says means it is wastage of time, that he says. Secondly said it is means poetry is the mother of lies. Mother of lies means poetry gives lie or false information, that he says. And thirdly it also says it gives the, or it is the nurse of abuse. Nurse of abuse means that it abuses everything. And finally he says poetry is inferior because Plato has dismissed poetry from his kingdom, from his ideal kingdom. So, my dear students, these four charges Sir Philip Sidney raises against the poetry. So, when the same book entitled School of Abuse he dedicates to the Sir Philip Sidney simply accepts it and he gives a very wonderful, thoughtful and ideal reply which everyone has accepted, which everyone has followed it and also imitated it and also discussed to the further generation. So, when Sir Philip Sidney go through it one by one, he came to know the wrong charges of Stephen Gosson against the poetry. So, he dismisses them one by one, saying that that poetry according to him is the noblest all, or is the very noble, or is the oldest of all branches. Poetry is the oldest of all branches of knowledge, and it also noble and noble one. Hence, initially when the literature started, it started with the poetry and its philosophy, its thought, its idea, its wit and everything. So, it is the oldest form of literature and also it is the noble one. And further he says, it not only noble and oldest branch, but also it gives tough knowledge, means the knowledge of universe, spirituality, reality and so on. After that he says the second charge according to him, which is the mother of lies, he says poetry is being superior to philosophy. Poetry is being superior to philosophy by its charm. By its charm, to history by its universality. To history by its universality means how it is lie because it is superior to philosophy by its charm, to history by its universality, to science by its moral end. To science by its moral end, and law by its encouragement, and law by its encouragement. So, how it is a mother of lies according to Sir Philip Sidney. And also human rather than civic goodness means it stands for civic goodness, and it stands for civic goodness than the man, means for the welfare of civilization it stands. So, how it is a mother of lies according to Sir Philip Sidney. Thirdly, he says poetry is the nurse of abuse. To reply this third charge, he says poetry through its comedy and tragedy forms or genres focuses the uncertainty of the world, focuses the uncertainty or reality of the world. So, just tell me how then it considered as the nurse of abuse, because it gives the detailed information about the life, its uncertainty, its reality, and so on. And so on. So, then how it will be considered as the nurse of abuse? After this, he dismisses the fourth charge, which Stephen Gosson says Plato has dismissed the poets from his kingdom. According to Sir Philip Sidney, Plato has not dismissed poets from his kingdom, but he has dismissed the poets of his time, dismissed the poets of his time who have represented poetry and who have given not much time to the poetry which he expects. So, he has not dismissed all the poets, not all the poets, but the poets of his time from the poetry. So, my dear students, this is in short at the very beginning Sir Philip Sidney in his literary work Apology for Poetry, along with Astrophila and Stella and Arcadia, the sonnet, and the second one the love story or pastoral love, he highlights a unique philosophy of the world, the classical norms of the writing, which he expects that the writers of his time, the time of Elizabethan or Renaissance, has to strictly follow this, then the writing of Elizabethan age will definitely become the classical one. So, with this brief introduction of unit 2nd, Sir Philip Sidney, I will stop here. In the coming class, we will discuss Sir Philip Sidney's views on classicism in detail. Thank you very much.